Canada imposed more sanctions today targeting members of the Russian elite and major banks. With me from Ottawa is Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister, Mélanie Joly. Madam Minister, let me ask you about those sanctions. You know, the Ukrainian foreign minister has made it very clear what he thinks needs to happen. He tweeted today, "I will not be diplomatic on this. Everyone who now doubts whether Russia should be banned from SWIFT, which is the international banking system, has to understand that the blood of innocent Ukrainian men, women and children will be on their hands too. Ban Russia from SWIFT." He is unequivocal. Why is that not happening right now?
Well, you know, we've said that there would be extremely strong sanctions. That's what we announced today. And we're doing so at the same time as all our G7 allies, so the US, the UK, the EU, and Japan. But we've also said, and I've also said, Dawna, that we would be adding sanctions. We had already restricted, actually limited completely, the sovereign debt of Russia, so the capacity of Russia to finance itself in within our economy. And we had already said that we would be making a dealings ban between Canada and the two regions at the beginning of the week that had been recognized as independent, which is Donetsk and Luhansk by the Putin. And this recognition is completely outraging. What we're doing today is even more. All the major banks of Russia are now under sanction. We're making sure also that more than 60 individuals and entities are sanctioned by Canada.
I understand the sanctions announced today are more severe than they've ever been, but why hold back others? Why not sanction Putin himself? Why not ban Russia from SWIFT?
Mm-hmm. Well, like I mentioned, we will continue to impose sanctions. We will make sure that we're acting in a coordinated way. We very much know also that Canada doesn't have a huge amount of trade with Russia because of our geography, but because also we had sanctioned years ago when Russia invaded Crimea, 400 individuals and entities. What we want to do, though, is to make sure that there's no loophole in this sanction approach.
Can you see a point where Canadian soldiers would be on the ground in Eastern Europe fighting Russian forces?
Well, we've decided to reinforce our participation within NATO, and should Article 5, so should a threat to use of force against a member of the alliance be done by Russia, well, of course, we will make sure to react and promptly. That's why I had the chance to be in contact with Secretary General of NATO, Jens Stoltenberg, earlier today, because obviously what is at stake right now is Europe's security. And when Europe's security is at stake, it is also our own security that is at stake.
Minister Joly, thanks for taking time with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Dawna. Thank you to all.
Mercedes Stephenson is with me now from Ottawa. Mercedes, Canada and other countries holding back, being as tough as they could be with sanctions. Are they keeping their powder dry? What are we and our allies waiting for?
I think a lot of people are wondering that as we see what looks like a full-scale invasion in Ukraine. People are wondering why not act now. There's a few reasons that may be going into this calculation. The first is political will of our allies. Essentially, the G7 NATO countries want to act in lockstep because it's more powerful. But some of those countries could face significant economic consequences for action taken, including Canada. There's also the desire right now to leave an exit route for Vladimir Putin to perhaps fall back and not try to hold all of Ukraine, and concerns that targeting him in particular could lead to a bit of a Trumpian response, where if he's challenged, he becomes more aggressive personally. But I did ask Prime Minister Justin Trudeau if sanctioning Vladimir Putin is on his radar. This is what he said today.
The key thing on sanctions has been to come forward in a coordinated way with all our allies, and that is the unity that is most damaging to the Kremlin and to Vladimir Putin, that we are all unequivocal and united on this.
So it sounds like it's potentially on the table. There are more sanctions coming, but they need the buy-in, obviously, of all the allies in order to do that. In the meantime, there are other things that can be done as well, including banning Russian oil and gas from Canada. It is imported here. The Prime Minister would not commit to that today. And of course, the Ukrainians are asking for things. They are asking for things including weapons and support. Take a listen to what the Ukrainian Chargé d'Affaires told me.
They need helmets, they need tactical armored jackets, they need firearms, they are ready to fight, but they need ammunition, they need equipment, and then they need arms. Yes, indeed, we need more.
So, Dawna, whether or not Canada decides to provide more lethal aid remains to be seen.
Okay, Mercedes, thanks.